Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle Earth here with the developer Q&A that was just posted in the Discord moments ago. There are 11 questions and 11 answers, some of which are actually pretty useful. Others I think have a little bit more fluff than I'd prefer, but it is what it is. So let me know down below what you think of these questions and which questions you think still need answered from the devs. Let me know down below in the comments. Let's go ahead and jump into the questions. All right, starting out, as is the case with all the content we put out, if there is a post reading from, that'll be linked down below. So if you want to go through this yourself, that is linked below for your convenience. But the first one here says, please increase the village system capacity and add a friend PvP mode so that players in an alliance can PvP with friends without leaving the guild at the end of the season. This will make the waiting time for PvP in Bagend less boring. So asking for a PvP mode using the village feature seems like something pretty reasonable, but the answer is not really amazing here. It says, we are paying attention to the PvP needs of strategists in the mid to late stages of the season. The updated Paths to the Dead gameplay and the updated New Alliance gameplay are aimed at providing players with more ways to PvP with friends in the mid and late stages of the season. We will continue to update content in the future to help players find opponents for PvP battles. The village system currently has a preliminary feature that allows players to make friends across seasons. In the future, we will continue to enhance more content and gameplay in the village system to enhance communication and fun among friends in the village. So, long story short, it sounds like any PvP involved with the village is not happening, at least not right now. Again, PvP was something that was teased during the 1-year anniversary that they were working on it, but there was no timeline. It's kind of a back burner project. So I think the village would be a cool way to make that happen. But right now, that's not something that's going to be happening according to this post. Question number 2. After developing buildings up to level 25 in the Rebuilding Glory campaign, it becomes difficult to keep developing other buildings. I wish there were more points available for development or that it were easier. The answer to this one is also a little bit of like stepping around the question as opposed to like a yes, we're going to be changing that. But again, there's going to be some of those here today. It says we will continue to make targeted adjustments and optimizations to each season's gameplay based on the feedback and overall performance of strategists. Regarding the issue of certain tasks being too difficult, highlighted by the strategist, we will gradually simplify them, allowing players to focus more on the development of their own forces and cooperation and confrontation with other players during the early to mid stages of the season. So again, it kind of sounds like if we keep getting that feedback, we'll make adjustments as needed, but it doesn't sound like there's a plan right now to majorly change how Rebuilding Glory works and how the structure task works. This one's actually pretty interesting. It says, regarding Bagend, I would like to see the number of registered users in the season virtualized, for example, 125 out of 200, etc. From the user side, it would be helpful to know the current number of registered users. This would be very, very helpful for anybody going to seasons to really see how many are actually going in. And they say here, we are currently optimizing the operation and information display interface of Bagend to provide strategists with a better experience and preparation for the season. Keep an eye out for future updates. New features are coming soon. Thank you, Yumiria, who is the poster, I guess, here for your suggestions, support, and trust. So while not specifically confirmed as like, yes, a number counter like this is coming, it does sound like this is like where we are continuing to update and optimize that process, which hopefully includes something like that. Would be very nice if you're going in just to see how many are actually registered for those areas. And it'd be nice too to see in specific, groups, which there are no more factions, but in specific regions in the future, how many players are in each of those regions. So you can really get an idea of what the map is going to look like before you go in. The next one says, please increase the variety of basic units. Also, neutral units are too expensive, making it almost impossible for disadvantaged factions to obtain them. Therefore, it'd be better to optimize the methods of obtaining neutral units, making overall unit combat more diversified. The answer here is the updated Alliance Mercenary Camp gameplay was designed to allow players to experience more of their favorite units during the season. We have taken note of the gold and cost issue and will consider optimizing it in the future. At the same time, we have been exploring and developing more ways to obtain different units so that players can recruit warriors from various races according to their preferences and lineup needs. We hope players continue to follow our game and provide more suggestions regarding unit-related content. So potentially adjustments are coming, but no, really, like this is just like, yeah, this is kind of meant to help with this, and we want to add more ways to this. I don't personally think there's a huge issue with neutral units. I mean, if you're playing very actively in the season, you're developing your resources and playing Heart of a Hero, for example, to get golden weekends. After a little while, I've even like in losing seasons not had too much trouble getting neutral units, but I can definitely see how some of them can be very expensive. Again, if you're wanting to like hire movement kill all the time, yeah, they're a little bit more expensive. But sounds like they're monitoring, but no kind of major changes coming to how units work in the game. Next one here with some good news, actually, it says, please optimize the commander's exclusive weapon tasks. So unique items have certain tasks you have to do to complete, like capturing certain structures or whatever it is. As some commanders may be unable to complete them due to their alignment or the season requirements. So depending on what campaign you go into, some of them you can't get done. And it says, thank you for your feedback on the commander's exclusive tasks. We will make adjustments to address this issue in the future to ensure that players are not restricted to specific seasons while completing specific tasks. So finally, kind of our first like legitimate answer. Here's the question. Yes, this is happening, but it's something that's been needed for a long time. Very nice quality of life. You shouldn't be restricted to what you can play or how you have to play to get tasks done, because there's such a variety in the unique tasks for commanders. They should be more universal, where just playing with them pretty much gets them unlocked. But again, we're actually getting some changes here. So that's probably the best one so far, in my opinion. The next one says, please increase the size of the blacklist. This is currently the only way to avoid harassment, but there aren't enough slots. And the short answer here is that they're going to consider increasing the blacklist size. And if you're having major issues, to contact support or go through the in-game support and report players if necessary. I've never filled mine up. I don't know what the actual limit is, but obviously if someone is having that bad of an experience, that they need more of that, that's kind of a lot. So hopefully they get that figured out or can find a way to deal with that, because that does not sound amazing. Next one says, please visualize the capabilities of fellowship and factions. For example, it would make the game more fun and convenient to visually distinguish land plots as enemy or ally. This one says, thank you for suggestion. We will arrange for the optimization of relevant features in the game. So I don't think it necessarily means they're going to like do this example, but a lot of their answers here are kind of just, hey, yeah, we'll look into this, or hey, we're collecting some feedback to make sure we can do the stuff we need to do. So I'll give my overall thoughts at the end, but so far a lot of like fluffy answers that don't really provide a whole lot of context, at least in my opinion. I'd be happy to hear differently in the comments, but so far, really one question has been asked and answered. But anyway, question 9, can we know which commanders and skills are used the most? If we know this, we can provide some suggestions for less popular commanders and underused skills. The answer here is the combination and use of troops have always been a matter of concern for strategists. We are also paying attention to player suggestions in the community to help adjust the game. The upcoming in-tavern community will have detailed guides from Fearless Pioneers. You can find information about different commanders' gameplay in the community. You can also share your views and questions about commanders in the tavern. We hope this content can be helpful to you. So again, they're not answering the question, which to me means it's a no. Like they're not going to share, behind the scenes analytic data on which commanders and skills and troops are being used, like to really show us what builds are the most popular or whatever. Again, they have the guide, the walkthrough guide in the game. I don't know how accurate those like popular kind of weapons with uses are or whatever, but they're asking for that for skills and for units as well. But they pretty much just say, well, we have Fearless Pioneers making videos in the tavern, in-game tavern community, and hopefully that helps, which is true. I mean, yes, there are places to get information, but it doesn't sound like we'll be getting anything from the devs in terms of like, hey, this is the most popular skill build run on whatever commander. Next one says, this question, it says, in Bagan, the Rangers season says closed. Is this a display error? Will it be reopened soon? And the answer is seasons are continuously adjusted and optimized so that we may temporarily close and optimize certain seasons from time to time. For detailed updates and opening plans for each season, you can refer to the relevant season optimization announcements. The Rangers Rise season will be updated soon and will reopen after the update. Please stay tuned. So sort of an answer here that they're optimizing something in Rangers Rise in this specific campaign and opening it soon. But again, a lot to get there. I've said it before. They could really, I think, benefit a lot from simplifying how they answer things. Like they need someone like to proofread these, and just the age-old adage of keep it simple, stupid, kiss. I just think that could go a long way, in my opinion, from what they're putting out. But anyway, that's a side note. Final question here. It says, regarding the campaign video of the official YouTube channel, are the changes to the no faction system and different maps for RP, non-roleplay, or both? This is actually a huge question. Different campaign seasons will have different base settings, and the identity of strategists and alliance organizations will be different. In the future, some campaign seasons will no longer have initial factions. Strategists will enable their own countries by occupying cities. At the same time, strategists will be able to freely switch their main city style to experience different races and units gameplay and combination. So again, not like a super strong answer. They're asking if the settlement style system with no factions is coming to roleplay, non-roleplay, both. What's the deal here? And they basically just say some campaigns will no longer have initial factions. Different seasons are going to have different base settings, instead of just like yes, this is coming to both roleplay and non-roleplay, this settlement style system, or no, it is just going to non-roleplay, or whatever it is. Again, I feel like they dance around things. Maybe it's unintentional. Maybe there's some language thing happening here. I don't know. Seriously, devs, if you're watching, I know you do watch the videos from time to time. Listen, send some of this stuff my way let's proofread together and I can let you know, hey, this is like, there's really like legitimately 1 or 2 questions answered here out of the 11. And I'm sure you guys spend a lot of time on it. I think that's my biggest frustration, is there are so many things in this game that need attention. And somebody spent time putting these questions out there, answering them, typing it up, and then putting it in the Discord, when I feel like there are other things that need attention, or the actual like benefit of this thing that came out here is relatively low because they didn't actually answer very directly every question. It just seems like a lot of, yeah, we're looking at it, we're looking at it, we're looking at it. And maybe it's just more PR. And hey, if that's it, I get it. If it's like this, hey, this is just PR for us to like, you know, make sure people know that we're still doing stuff. Maybe that's the case and I'm just reading too much into it. But it just seems like so many questions get answered with way too many words and they're not really directly answered. There was really the one question answered in here. I think it was the commander's exclusive weapon task. That's fantastic. Other than that, it was kind of like, oh, hey, you could try this instead, or hey, like we're checking on it or whatever, as opposed to just like, this isn't something we're working on right now. Or hey, we are working on it. This is really good. Hey, we need more feedback before we can give an answer. There should just be like a simple like yes, no, or, you know, in the meantime, here's what we're waiting on to decide that, if that makes sense. So anyway, let me know down below what you guys think of this dev Q&A. Let me know down below which questions you guys think still need answered. I would seriously, again, devs, if you're still here, if I still have you, I'd love to do a Q&A at some point on the channel. I think it'd be really fun. I think it'd be a good way for you guys to you know, get some good PR and interact with the community. But I'd love to do something one time where we can ask some questions, and I'd love some kind of more direct answers, even if you could just say, we can't answer that right now, or no, it's not happening. So many players, myself included, would prefer a no, it's not happening, as opposed to like fluffy answers that leave us just wondering what's going on. So anywho, let me know down below what you guys think of these questions, and devs, you can comment too, let me know, but send me a message. You guys know how to reach me. I'd love to get something going. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this one. I appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in a future video.